Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today in Sydney. And as I get started, the first thing that I want to do is mimic a little bit of thanks that you may have heard in the keynote this morning. I want to thank all of you for being here, for taking time out of your busy days, and for being present. But more than that, because this year we are celebrating our 20th birthday. And we would be nowhere at Salesforce if it were not for you, our amazing customers. And before I continue, this is the very exciting slide you may have seen earlier, but just make sure, since Salesforce is a publicly traded company, any purchasing decisions you make today are based on what are in market today. So we saw this slide if you were at the keynote, and what I'd like to do is, as we go through this presentation, put a service lens on everything you may have heard this morning. So as we think about how we are all connected, this is especially poignant in the world of service. Because think about when your customers contact your service centers. It's because there's a problem. It's not because they want to tell you how much they love you, right? And so as there's a problem, they want to reach you the same way they reach their friends and family when there's a problem. It's a highly emotional issue. And so as we think about how your customers are connected and how they prefer to connect through their normal lines in life, you have to think about how they want to connect with you. And it's because the shift to digital has already happened. And in the world of service, what's very, very important to remember is that customers reach the service desk not through one, but on average 10 different channels. And if there's a very, very big issue happening, it may be more than one channel at the same time. So there needs to be a way to harness this experience and to help them so that you can move on to the next case and also be exemplary in your brand. But creating a picture of the customer is hard. It's really hard, right? We heard about this morning. But you have all these different forces at play. You have your CRM system, you've got the data warehouse, you're trying to extract that data, you've got third-party legacy systems we heard about today, customers behaving in commerce in ways that they haven't before, online, offline, new channels. And of course, how many times have you been behind the service desk or heard about a problem at the service desk when the marketing department launches a promotion and yet the information wasn't transferred, right? That happens. So we need a way to pull all these pieces together for that single view of the customer. And this slide, the customer success platform, is the way that we do it. This is the power of the platform, the power of Salesforce at your fingertips. And we've heard about how it connects every system, sales, marketing, service, and commerce together. But also it connects every customer at every touch point through their preferred channel. So when they're reaching out to you, you can unlock that data and pull it into the service desk so you can actually service that customer quickly and effectively. And we do this through Customer 360, powered by Einstein. This allows all those connected Salesforce apps to work together for you. It allows you to sync down all the way to the customer ID level so you can see those purchasing decisions. You can see those patterns in their behaviors, how many times they've contacted you before, and truly understand what it is that you need to do and your agents need to do to service that customer. Now, we heard this morning, and it's true, that if you're especially in a big enterprise organization, you probably have more than one system. We're not going to believe that you only have Salesforce. We understand this because systems have been built over time. And this is why we purchased MuleSoft, because it allows you to unlock that enterprise data by laying a bridge of API across one system to the next. So you can harness it and pull it in, and that truly allows for that connectivity. It's a really exciting time. So let's take a step back and think about the world of service and the service console. So in order to have that single view of every customer, what we have launched is Lightning Service for your service agents. Starting with B2C, this allows you to customize a console and pull in those purchasing decisions and those purchasing patterns so you can see what the customer is actually doing. We saw a great demo of this morning. But it gets better. We also have a Lightning Service Console from the B2B standpoint because businesses are complex and processes are complex. And so there's different pieces and components that you need to bring in depending on how your business works. Moreover, there are industries. And if you're someone like me who used to work in financial services, you understand the pain and the pressure of staying on point for compliance. The great thing about the Lightning Console is it can serve up an agent script so they can be on point and say exactly what they need to say, yet still customize on the sides to be able to find the answers that they need quickly and effectively. The world of service has become even stronger. So are there any people in the room who own a small business or know friends or family that do? Show of hands. Great, quite a few people, right? Well, we love small businesses, and now we have the power to be able to support you and your friends and family who do. Because with Salesforce Essentials for Small Business, for as little as $35 per user per month, you can have a sales and service license together. And it allows you to start instantly and sell smarter and faster. But more importantly, as you are successful and as your business grows, we can grow alongside you. So with that, let's take a beat. Who wants to hear a customer story? Yay! Let's hear a customer story. Okay. Well, about a year and a half ago, we were approached with one of our biggest customers, a very, very important customer. You're all very important, but this one, I think you'll agree, quite important. And they came to us because they were faced with a pretty big issue. This customer is facing the rising global demand of population with a just-in-time delivery issue, which is based on a seasonal service. All really important things to try and harness, and facing customer care issues. That's right. It's this little guy, right? So Easter is coming, and he is small, but he is mighty. And he came to us to try and figure out, what can I do to bring my brand into the modern age and bring Easter joy to every little girl and boy all over the planet? So what did we do? We worked with him. With the power of service and the power of the platform, we were able to unlock data through the power of an app, pull in preferences from every parent around the world to understand dietary restrictions, nuts, dairy allergies, who likes chocolate, who doesn't. We were able to pump that through for the bunny, through the egg bot, to have just-in-time delivery that's customized based on that information. And better yet, through a product called Einstein Next Best Action, custom egg baskets could be spit out because it blended the business processes with all of that custom data that was harnessed through. And now the bunny can be effective delivering those baskets worldwide. So that's a fun story, but it's true because if you think about your brands being modern and relevant and cool and also delivering in ways that customers expect, you have to think along these lines. And so it is because we are in this new age of service. It's no longer a back office support function. Service really impacts every moment from pre-purchase, and think about it when you're making a purchase. You're thinking about product reviews. What do you want to buy? What size television is going to fit inside your home? The purchasing decision, what color do I want? What model do I want? What service is best for my business? And then post-purchase, when is it going to be delivered? Do I have a billing issue? These are all questions that run through our minds as consumers, and they're running through your customer minds as well, and there needs to be a platform to connect them. Now, there are no better people that have transformed the world of service through this different buying cycle than our trailblazers. There are so many of you in the audience today who are trailblazers, and I can't wait to tell your story next year. But for today, let's focus on 3. So I love food. I love to go out to eat. Is anyone else here a foodie? Loves to go eat dinner, have nice restaurants? Quite a few of you. Well, you may be familiar with a little app called OpenTable. And Judy Tang here works at OpenTable. She completely transformed that brand by putting the power of self-service directly into the palm of every single person who wants to make a dining reservation. They can customize by their preference. They can customize by location. They can even serve up their rewards and get them instantly through the power of the app. She's an amazing trailblazer who's transformed that service level desk so that her agents can concentrate on other things. We also have Millen over at Pearson, which is an online educational software organization. Millen has perhaps the best example of chatbots that we've seen to date. Through the power of chatbots, he's been able to program those bots to work with different levels of customers depending on their age or what kind of educational software they need. They answer those questions quickly and effectively, and they have opened up his service desk to handle the high-level, highly emotive cases. So it's completely optimized and revolutionized his industry. And we also have Nicole Soltz. Nicole works for a company called Lippert Components, which is in the United States, and what they do is they service caravans. So when caravans break down, when a part is needed, they actually can dispatch through the power of field service lightning, a field mobile worker to go out and service you and your family when you're in that caravan and it's broken down in the middle of the hot sun. That's right, she can do that, and she can do it quickly. That mobile worker can go and through the power of the app in their hand can get there quickly, know if they have the part in the back of their truck, and have instructions and connection with the back office to fix it and get you back on the road. It's an incredible time to be in service. And there is a reason that we have these trailblazers driving this catalyst for change. There's really 4 catalysts that are reshaping service today. So the first is the silos, right? We've heard this theme today that there's disparate systems, it's hard to bring them together. And you've heard also through the power of the platform and MuleSoft, we can actually connect those disparate systems now for you. And it's really important to stay connected and understand who your customers are so you can service them better. We also know through this statistic that AI is here. As a matter of fact, in 9 months, only 9 months, it will be 2020. It's kind of incredible if you think about it. And IBM has predicted that by 2020, 84% of service cases will be handled by AI. We keep hearing these themes about robots taking over jobs. But what's actually going to happen is there's going to be a shift. AI will alleviate the low-level service jobs, even some mid-level. But what's powerful is if you think about agents and where they need to rise, they will need to step up. So the expectation will step up as well. And just like I use Amazon Alexa every single night to turn on my living room light, on and off, which I do because it's across the room, that's become a fabric of my life, and it will become a fabric of your customers' lives. So you need to think about AI in this new vein. How can you integrate it within your businesses? We also know 75% of customers are expecting consistency. It's kind of like when you go to your favorite coffee house and it's different than the one down the street, even though they're the same brand. You want that level of consistency. You want to have that expectation. So a great example of this is last week, I was over in Melbourne, and I was visiting my mother-in-law. My husband and I were there with Mom. And we noticed about a year ago that she was really lonely. She was feeling very disconnected from her friends and family in Holland, in the US, and even in Australia. So my husband, being the amazing son that he is, he's back there, you can wave at him, he went and bought her an iPad. And the family thought we were completely nuts. They said, there's no way. She's 87 years old. But you know what's incredible? She not only adopted the technology, it is now a fabric of her daily life. She's watching us on Facebook and liking things that she probably should not be liking. She's also interacting with us with the video chat and expecting us to be there to see us when she calls us now. It's incredible. And if my 87-year-old delightful mother-in-law can pick this up, your customers have it in their daily lives as well. So it's important to think about that digital engagement being connected. Finally, 80% of the global workforce, this represents 2.5 billion people, no longer sit at a desk. We have to connect them and empower them with the power of service in the palm of their hands to stay connected with the back office, but also to be able to be face-to-face with you when you have a service issue, like when you're waiting for a utility person to come and fix your oven or your cable system. The good news is with Catalysts for Change, we all have an opportunity, right? And we have that opportunity because of this. Salesforce for Service is built on the world's #1 CRM platform. Here you can connect your employees, whether they are behind a desk or in the field. You can connect your customers with any touch point and any platform, and you can bring it all together to put your customer in the center of your organization, not just your service organization, but your entire company. And you can see the statistics here that are incredible. But don't just take it from me. We are #1 in service because of you. It's amazing. We're 3 times the share of our competitors because you, our trailblazers, are triggering 315 million service transactions a day. We also have 3 billion predictions daily. That's incredible. And this number is only getting bigger. Now, what's super cool is we've done all this through one platform, just one. And gone are the days of the 6 to 7 to 11 screens for agents. It can all be served up in one area. And not only that, we have the power of self-service that's bridged over with digital service, harnessed in the middle by the power of bots. So let's talk about self-service just for a moment. So with self-service, we have built lightning flows. And what lightning flows do is they're a helpful pathway. They actually take your customers by the hand secretly, and they guide them through their self-service experience based on predictions, what they bought in the past, and what it thinks that your customers need to find up. It will serve up articles and knowledge cases for your customers based on those needs. In addition, through the power of communities and community clouds embedded in your service, your customers can now connect with one another. So they can not only get product reviews, they can also learn about how to solve a problem for one another. This is so effective that agents are actually using the power of Community Cloud to service their cases as well. But what happens when things get complicated and customers can't self-serve? Well, digital engagement is there, and this is the power of the digital channels connecting on one platform. We are now able to connect you with your customers through SMS, chat, Facebook Messenger, Apple Business Chat, WeChat, so many chats. And guess what? We're also powering the power of WhatsApp. So that is coming now too, because we've listened to you. We've heard where your customers are performing, and we are rapidly building this technology to meet your needs. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on bots, because we enhance every single digital experience with the power of bots. Einstein Bots for Service is built declaratively. And what's great is as you roll out your service, you don't need to turn on every single channel I just listed. You can start with just one or two and then slowly roll in. Perhaps the best example I can give to you of a service bot in action is from Dreamforce last year. So I had the honor and the privilege of overseeing the Customer Experience Center at Dreamforce. We actually stood up a contact center in 6 weeks, and we helped serve every single person who came to the conference. We estimated that we would have about 6,000 service cases during the course of the week. What we didn't know is what the bot would do. For the first time, we embedded a chat bot directly into the mobile app. The chatbot, if you were here earlier at 9 a.m. hearing the earlier session, answered 22,000 cases. 22,000 cases from the chatbot alone of people wanting information. And what was so cool is that the bot learned. When it got stumped, we could program it, and then through the power of machine learning, it actually was able to adapt and grow based on those utterances that we heard about earlier today. Not only that, we still had 6,000 service cases. We still had 6,000 from other channels. So we saw this shift from one channel to the next. Guess how many phone calls we had? Just throw it out there. Guess how many? 3. 3 phone calls for all of Dreamforce, because this raised all boats. It allowed customers to self-serve. It allowed customers to reach out through the channels of their preference. And the phone calls, you know, they were needed. They were highly emotive cases. But this gives you an idea. If we can do this for ourselves, we know that we can do it for you in your business. Now, in the keynote, we heard about Einstein Voice, and we saw an amazing demo. So I won't go into that too deeply. But I will tell you, for those of you who were not at the keynote, that it is important to know that we have this helpful assistant. So now, just like through the power of sales, through the power of service, you can use your own voice to update your records. You can speak directly into Salesforce, and it will help you get updates, briefings, dashboards. But what's even cooler is we now have Einstein Voice bots for your customers, because we see the future. We know that by 2021, 40% of customers are going to be using the power of their own voice for online searches as well as for online transactions. So as you think about that and the next channel, you don't have to worry about how you're going to connect, because it's here for you. And I wonder if who of you in the room are actually going to enact this and be the first in this region to do it. It's a pretty exciting time, right? And we are the trailblazers that are going to be up here demonstrating how it all works. So empowering every service employee is important, because as technology becomes more complex, we automate, we assist, and we have to educate them. And it starts with routine customer interactions that I just went through, the power of bots, the power of intelligent conversations, but also this idea of a seamless handoff from a bot to a human, so that those cases can be routed through on-a-channel routing to the right person at the right time, so your customer never really even knows that there was a pass-off. It's just incredible. On top of that, we know that we can assist employees with intelligence. And here, through the power of Service Cloud Einstein and Lightning Flows, your service employees also have a guided path. Just like Lightning Flows for self-service, your service employees can actually have that path to understand predictive ways to help your customers. Einstein case classifications can automatically be updated, and article recommendations served up not only for your employees, but can be passed along to customers. And of course, Einstein Next Best Action, we heard about the Easter baskets. This can also happen for you, using business processes and unlocking data to form next best actions that are right for your business. Now, who wants to hear another customer story? Yay, let's hear another customer story. We have an amazing story about LendingTree that is going to be demonstrated in an incredible demo from my esteemed colleague and friends, Mercedes McAndrew and Kevin Rossiter. Mercedes, come up here and show us how it all comes together.
Thank you, Nicole.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sydney. I am super excited to share with you this story about our trailblazer, Lending Tree, and share with you this demo along with my colleague Kevin. Lending Tree's entire mission is to make sure that they get you the best deal on your loans. So whether you're in the market for a home loan or a student loan, Lending Tree has got your back. And Lending Tree is out to disrupt the loan industry by making it easy for their customers to compare and choose their ideal loan provider from any device and from just about anywhere. And with Salesforce Service Cloud, Lending Tree is making service simple and seamless by leveraging AI and digital channels. And Lending Tree is enabling their agents with skills and guidance they need to deliver this amazing service experience that ultimately differentiates their brand. So let's take a look. Meet Annika. She's a first-time home buyer, and she's just received home loan offers from Lending Tree. This is perfect timing because she was just on her way out the door to go meet her broker. So while she's on the train, she opens up lendingtree.com on her mobile device, and she begins to peruse her personalized offers. So with Salesforce Marketing Cloud, Lending Tree can create one-to-one marketing journeys based on customer attributes and activity. And based on Annika's scrolling time, Marketing Cloud can trigger a chat asking Annika if she needs more help with the loan offers that she's received. She's going to tap on that button, and she's greeted by a chatbot. With Salesforce, Lending Tree can embed AI and automation directly into the experience to get their customers help fast and to seamlessly transfer them to the right agent at the right time. And with Einstein, Lending Tree can therefore embed this interaction once, create this interaction once, and then deploy it across multiple channels, such as chat channels like this one, and messaging channels like Apple Business Chat. So the chatbot recognizes Annika and her loans and asks her if she needs more assistance. Well, she's got a question, so she's simply going to ask. With Einstein AI, natural language processing parses her question and responds back to her, and even surfaces up a knowledge article that can further assist her. From here, she's going to receive a menu of options, and when she does, she's going to tap on those loan offers for more assistance, and then the chatbot is going to initiate a process flow, and it's going to ask her what her ideal loan term preference is. Well, she doesn't know, so she's going to ask for a recommendation, and when she does, she's then seamlessly transferred to our agent, Callan, in the Lightning Service console. So, going into the console. Here we are. Here we are in the Lightning Service console, and this is where Callan starts his day. If you look at the top here, you can see that he's managing multiple conversations at once. This is the beauty of messaging. It's asynchronous. It allows Callan to be more efficient with his time. Now, Callan has been routed Annika's case based on his skill set and availability, so he's going to go ahead and accept that case, and when he does, he has everything he needs in a single screen. Now, over on the left-hand side, he can see Annika's profile, and he can see the loan offers that she's received. But this information lives in a third-party system. How is it appearing in the associate's view? Enter MuleSoft. That's the beauty of MuleSoft. MuleSoft allows you to unlock that data from third-party systems and build APIs and other integration assets so that you can then reuse them in future IT projects. All of this gives your agent a more complete view of the customer. So back to the center, this is where Callan has been seamlessly handed off that chatbot conversation. He's reading up on what's transpired so he knows exactly how to help Annika and doesn't have to have her repeat herself at all. So over on the left-hand side here, so he can actually surface up knowledge articles here, but because he's an expert on this topic, he's simply going to respond to Annika with the answer and ask her if she wants to continue getting help on the loan offers she's received. Now, over here on the left-hand side, we're going to see under the guided actions list, the flow that the bot started. Well, Callan can seamlessly pick up this flow and complete the process with Annika. Now, determining she's going to go with the 30-year loan, Lightning Flow guides him through the process step by step to help her hone in on her ideal loan provider. With Lightning Flow, you can create these rich, dynamic, automated experiences for any business process, and you can create these step-by-step processes for your agent in the console and step-by-step processes for your customers in a self-service portal. So in just a few steps, he's able to really hone in on who would be a good loan provider for Annika. But that's not all. Going back to the left here, you can see Einstein Next Best Actions is at work. And Einstein is going to coach Callan to then set up a call for Annika with her ideal loan provider. And now Callan looks like a total rock star because he has just been empowered with the tools from LendingTree to really concentrate on this conversation with Annika. This is how LendingTree is using Service Cloud to make it easy to deliver fast, seamless service to their customers and to get them the support they need and to give their agents the skills and guidance to deliver these memorable, differentiated brand experiences. So on that note, I want to bring to the stage here my colleague Matt Porta. He's going to talk to you a little bit about field service and how you can innovate on the Field Service Lightning platform. And he's going to share another demo with a great customer of ours, the Container Store. Come on up, Matt.
Thanks, Mercedes. All right. We're going to shift gears a little bit here and talk about a topic that I'm really passionate about, and that's mobile workers. So I actually started my career implementing mobile solutions on Windows Mobile PDAs. Is anybody old enough here, old enough to remember that? Yeah. I'm actually only 20, but this face, it's just because of that, right? It was a bad experience. But things have changed a lot. And if Nicole's already spoken about this and the fact that 80% of workers are not actually tied to their desk anymore. You all out there today are not tied to your desk, you're here today. But think about that mobile workforce, 2.7 billion people that are actually out there day in, day out. They're out there dealing with your customers face to face today. How do we put the tools in front of them that make sense? All of that great innovation that you just saw in the LendingTree and the agent tools to make them efficient, how do we give that to the mobile worker? Well, the good news is that we can. And I don't want you to think about the mobile worker as just being a person with a hard hat anymore. Think about anybody in any industry that's outside the four walls of the office. With Field Service Lightning, we can now give them the tools to enhance productivity. We can make them smarter while they're there in front of the customer. We can even do things like start to understand third-party data like dynamic traffic conditions. So how do we actually make sure we're making the best use of their time while they're out there on the road? We can also guide them step by step through a process, as you'll see in a moment in the demo, and as you saw earlier with the LendingTree. And even providing proactive service using insights from IoT, so connected devices, so turning those reactive service situations into something that's not only proactive, but predictive. Pretty powerful, right? So I want to share with you today a story, and that is the Container Store. So the Container Store are a US-based organization, and their mission is about making people's homes, I guess making use of space and making sure through their innovative storage solutions that people are utilizing the space they've got. So I want to flip across now to the laptop and introduce you to a customer of the Container Store. That's Alison. So Alison's just moved to the Bay Area. She's pretty happy with a new place, but the biggest problem is her closet is too small for all of her shoe collection. A little bit like me. I'm just kidding. I don't have that many shoes. So what she's done, she's found an alpha closet, and she's gone ahead and ordered that online. And now what you can see is happening here, she wants to get some information, and she's gone to the community. So this is a beautifully branded experience built within Community Cloud, using CMS for Community Cloud, which is brand new. And she's being provided a range of knowledge articles here that might help her get some more information about this install. She's gone in and viewed that article, and what you'll notice up in the top right of the screen now, she can go ahead and actually book that appointment directly. So this is great for her from a personal perspective because she doesn't have to pick up the phone and wait on hold. And this is also great from the Container Store. You heard Nicole talk about freeing up agents from that low-value activity. This is that low-value activity that we can automate for the Container Store, and Nicole can book her own appointment. So using the Field Service Lightning scheduling engine, this is now looking at not only who the right person might be to do the install, their availability, their skill set, and a whole lot more to make sure that we're getting somebody out there to do it right the first time. So she's locked that in now. Let's flip across and have a look at what this looks like internally for the dispatcher at the Container Store. So we're going to go back to the laptop if we could, please. So the dispatcher on the laptop is actually using the Field Service Lightning dispatch console, and you can see there that they've got a complete overview. So a lot of the Container Store's people that are out there doing installs are actually contractors. They're not employed by the Container Store, but they've got complete visibility into exactly what's happening, all the jobs and a whole lot more. And you can see there, as Shahar zooms over for me on the closet installation job, that it's actually going to get done, or we're predicting that this can be done 23% faster. This is using the power of Einstein. So Einstein is actually going away, looking at previous jobs like this, looking at this particular installer and going, actually, we can get this job done faster. And more than that now, if we flip to the work order, we can see there that Einstein's providing even more recommendations, things like recommended products that we might want to add to that work order. What this stops is that situation of repeat visits, people going out to do things multiple times. So Shahar's going to go ahead and lock that in. And now we're going to flip across to the phone. We're going to fast forward to the day of installation now for Alison. So using now the power of messaging, she's been sent a message with her install date and time, but even though she selected that time, something's popped up and she wants to reschedule that now. So she's going to go ahead and select another slot. This is using the power of messaging on the platform, bots, and the field service Lightning engine all together to provide some recommendations to Alison, and she can go ahead and lock that in. So what we're going to do now is flip to the agent of the world, or the installer view of the world, called Leah. So Leah uses the field service Lightning mobile app to manage your entire day. So those days of Windows PDAs, this is far better, right? She's got a beautifully branded offline experience, so if she doesn't have connectivity, she can get a job done. And she's got all the details of the customer, so all that same rich information the agent's got, she's got access to. And more than that, she's now guided through this great step-by-step process. So think about that for remote workers, not always in the office, don't understand the process all the time. We can guide her through this step-by-step. You can see she's a pretty speedy installer. We're going to flip through this job and get this install done. And she can also accept a signature now from Alison to say the job was done successfully and get that job signed off. So the next thing that's happening here is the flow is now recommending that maybe we want to talk to Alison about another consultation. As it turns out, Alison's been thinking about another one of the bedrooms in the house, and she wants to go ahead and get that consultation. What we're now doing is turning an install job, which is traditionally a cost center, into this upsell opportunity. So Leah's now creating a quote in the mobile app, and we're turning Container Store from a cost center into a profit center. Pretty powerful, right? So this is the way that the Container Store is providing amazing customer experiences, but also really importantly, empowering their installers and agents with great tools. So hopefully that's given you a great overview. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Nicole.
Thank you. Thanks, Matt. So, bringing it home, there's one more piece that we haven't talked about, and this is also looking to the future of what we need to do. So as we think about those stats that I called out about AI and the service cases and how it's changing, we also know that the role of our managers and our agents are also changing. And the need for the super agent of the future is actually here because there's more customer touch points, there's higher levels of case complexity, and there's deeper, more consistent, elevated training. Agents and managers need digital and technical literacy to be able to consistently deliver those experiences, but more than that, they need empathy, they need EQ, emotional intelligence, soft skills to be able to work with these customers in ways that where there's elevated, highly emotive cases. And business acumen is so important because agents and managers need to know what levers to pull to get those customers' cases solved quickly and efficiently, but also opportunities for cross-sell and upsell. The good news is we've brought this to you as well. We have built a program called Trailblazers for the Future, which drives employee engagement and success. And guess what? It's coming here. It's coming to Australia this year. And what we're going to do is we are going to bring customers, customer-led, for-customer workshops together to learn from one another and thought leaders to understand what are the trends, what are the practices, what is happening in Trailhead today to bring this together. And we're learning from each other. You can also go to Trailhead because all of the content is in there today, so you can check out those trails. What's most important is we'll have the ability to cross-sell and cross-train agents so that they can also become admins and developers, building up new skill level sets for career pathing. And together, we're blazing these trails together. We're actually 25,000 strong in our service community today, and you can see the numbers of growth. This is within 1 year. This is how important this program is, and so make sure that you join our success community. Next up, I'm going to bring Matt up to talk to Nigel Piper, who is our Executive GM of Xero, and they're going to touch on the subject a little bit and more customer stories. Matt?
All right. Thanks,
Nigel?
Nicole. We'll just give Nigel a chance to grab the mic. I think, Nigel, this is my favourite part of the day, and I know that 4 years ago we sat down and spoke to you guys, and you said, we want to do such a great job with customer service. We want to be standing on the stage at World Tour at Dreamforce, and here you are. So thanks for joining us today, first of all. Before we jump into that, tell us about Xero.
Yeah, so Xero is an online accounting solution born in the cloud. We have 1.6 million customers around the world, about 2,000 Xeros, and really increasingly looking at the small business platform, so payroll, expenses, projects, and really trying to enable small businesses to be much more successful and really help them grow.
Excellent. And tell us, when we spoke 4 years ago, you spoke about explosive growth, right? So I'm assuming that was one of the key drivers for doing what you had to do. Tell us more about that, what you guys have implemented, and moving forward.
Yeah, so I've been a Xero for 6 years. I came in and we had a purpose-built sort of homebrew ticketing solution. We started growing really rapidly. We've grown 400,000 customers just in the last 12 months. And so we really had to look at strategically, what do we look like in 5 years' time? What do we look like in 10 years' time? Yeah. And so we jumped onto the Salesforce platform probably about 4 or 5 years ago now. Service Cloud probably about 3 years ago. And we've really started seeing that efficiency that's created. We've jumped onto Community Cloud in the last sort of 12 months, and we've really seen that the value of the platform play has made a massive difference to what we've been able to do and how we've been able to look after customers.
Yeah, cool. And what's the feedback from the agents and the customers been like?
Yeah, so feedback's been fantastic. Customers, I think the world of service has really changed. Customers are wanting you to use information. They want you to use the power of what you know about them. But also they want to still create that human connection. And so what we see a lot is we have agent profiles, for example. So we tell a little bit of a story of the person who's looking after them. We encourage our customers to do the same. And that allows still that interaction to be quite human, albeit over a digital channel.
Yeah, cool. And we just heard Nicole talk about the super agent, and we've spoken about how automation is going to mean that we need to upskill agents, but your agents are a little bit unique in that they're already pretty highly skilled, right? They're ex-accountants and bookkeepers, so what sort of productivity tools have you put in place for them in the back end, and what's that meant for them in serving the customers?
Yeah, so we sort of see the real value in engaging with particularly our accounting and bookkeeper partners in a slightly different way. So as Matt sort of said, all of our people who look after the Xero product are degree-level accountants. But what we really wanted to do is make sure we use those for the really technical, the really hard, the complex stuff. And so we've been using the whole knowledge strategy of Salesforce on the Community Cloud platform, and so engaging with customers, surfacing content to them in a really usable way, much simpler and much earlier in the journey. If that doesn't work, if they can't solve that question, then we've got this army of people that are there to really look after them. So we've effectively been saving them up for the tricky and the complex, yeah. But also really trying to make sure that we meet the customer's expectation around serving up content. Customers are changing. They want to find content themselves. They want to find information. They're quite comfortable in doing that. But at the same time, if that doesn't quite work, they need some really talented people to help them, and that's what we've been trying to do.
And I guess the last quick question for you. You spoke about the I think you guys are growing even more crazy than Salesforce, right? So what's that mean for you guys? What's next on the Salesforce journey in particular to support that?
Yeah, so we see certainly a long roadmap ahead, but we like the fundamentals of childhood and education and learning journeys. And so for us, probably the next stage is really taking people, particularly new users, new customers, people who are just starting on Xero. How do we build a sort of individualized learning journey for that customer? And our customers are quite unique. They come from different industries, different regions, have different levels of experience. So how do we personalize that learning journey for that user and do that on the Salesforce platform?
Yeah, awesome. And appreciate you being here today. I think you guys have been on an amazing journey. I look forward to getting you up here next year, the year after, and seeing what else you guys have done, because you're doing so much on the platform, and we can see the growth that you guys are going through and how it's helped. So thanks for joining us today and flying over from New Zealand just for this. So thanks. Thanks, mate. That's good.
Thanks, Matt. So real quick, we're going to wrap this up. We've talked about 360. We've brought you ways to how to connect your customer in all new ways. You'll hear this throughout the day. Make sure you continue your customer journey by scanning your badge on the way out so you can get an important asset. Come to our next session at 1 o'clock to see how sales and service work together to power your systems and power your customer experiences. And finally, if you haven't, please join our success community today. Thank you very much.